Hi everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to watch this video. My name is Debbie and I am from Spill the Tea Leaf Readings and more. In this video, I am going to focus on energy tarot spreads. Some of these basic spreads, they're ones that you might use on a regular basis, but hopefully some of them are new ones for you as well. For anyone new to these videos, the cards I'll be showing you are just examples and I'm not reading for an actual person. It's all in service of showing you what the tarot can do for you. And of course, if you like what you see, let me know, subscribe, and maybe even get a reading from me. If that is something you're interested in, you can email me at info@spillthetealeaf.com. We are starting with our one card spreads today. You can see there are a few different options here. I'm calling this an energy pull because you're really only pulling one card out of your deck, and this is a good one to do at the start or end of your day if you aren't already pulling a daily card. Of course, you can also do this for the week, month, or even for the whole year. You can also look at this one card as your current energy, your energy in a specific situation, or ask the cards where your energy should be spent. So using this one card, let's go through all of these, shall we? The world is usually about feeling accomplished and reaching the end of your journey. So as the energy for your day, that would mean that you'll have a complete day. For some, that might mean that you'll feel good about finally putting your laundry away. For others, it might mean that someone apologized to you and helped you put an incident behind you and you're now ready to move on. As an energy of the week, it could mean that you did everything you set out to do before heading out for a weekend getaway, or perhaps that you will be spending the week taking care of something you've been putting off for a while. The month, although longer than the week, will have a very similar vibe. So I'm going to skip to energy of the year, which might indicate that you're going to accomplish all of the goals that you set out for yourself at the beginning of the year. If you're reading this as the energy in a specific situation, well, you have to know what the situation is. So let's say that you want to know what the energy is for a long car ride you'll be taking. This could be interpreted as reaching your destination in one piece, or even using the long car ride to reflect and work some things out for yourself that will allow you to move on. As a current energy, you are feeling accomplished, so pat yourself on the back. And where your energy should be spent would be on closing the loop by getting closure, checking off your to do list, or something else that would bring you to the end of one chapter so you can be ready to begin the next one. This is another great pull you can do each day using just two cards, and this comes from New Age Hipster. Here we have the Knight of Swords reversed and the Page of Swords. First, it is important to know that these two are looking at each other, and also that the page is an emotion from the knight. Already, my interest is piqued. The knight is saying that you are feeling impulsive, and the page is saying that you have to navigate this energy by taking the time to think and maybe even research before just charging in without a strategy. You are in no mood for that, but the page is staring you down and getting ready to stop you so that you can be better prepared for what's coming. I use this spread a lot. I have to actively try to use new spreads every day because this is my go-to, and I realize that asking the cards the same question every day is boring for the cards, but it is a staple for a reason. All right, the King of Cups reverse is the energy of the day, so I would say your mood is anything but temperate, and you won't be thinking about anyone but yourself. As a court card, it's also possible, of course, that a person that this card represents could loom large in your day, but I don't usually interpret court cards that way when talking about your specific energy. The Two of Swords reverse is telling you to focus on making decisions today, which is maybe why the King is reversed. He doesn't like being put on the spot when there is a tough decision to be made. As for the Nine of Pentacles, this card is telling you to avoid feeling too comfortable, which again plays really nicely into what the Two of Swords reverse is trying to tell you to focus on. This next one is kind of a cheat because it is, as you can probably see, an obvious variation on the last one. For that reason, I'm hoping I don't need to explain these cards again. Just keep in mind that because this covers a longer period of time, either a week or a month, you may want to recheck the energy halfway through or at the end because our energies are constantly shifting. It might also suggest that this is more of a process that you'll be going through. All right, so this is a fun one. This looks at the entire week and breaks it into three segments. How you interpret this will depend on how you break up your week. Some people will start their week on Monday and think of the first card as Monday through Wednesday, the second as Thursday and Friday, and card 3 as the weekend. I like to think of the week starting on Sunday, so I would probably do this as Sunday through Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday. There's also no rule for how many days of the week go with each card, even though the two examples I just gave both allotted 3 cards for the beginning of the week. You also don't have to do full days. You could choose to do 2.25 days, which is nearly the full 7, or you could divide one day in half. It's up to you. The most important thing is to set that intention before you shuffle and pick out your cards. For this sample, I'm not going to assign particular days. We're just going to say the beginning, middle, and the end. The Four of Swords reverse is telling me that the start of the week is going to be a busy one. And then the middle of the week will bring a flow of creativity and maybe intuition. By the end of the week, you will be tired, but that is also the best time to see things for what they really are. So pay attention and look for details to make sure that you don't miss anything important. That's the moon. Normally, I save longer spreads for the end, but this presentation is a little all over the place in terms of spread length, as I wanted to try to keep all the similar spreads together. So here's a longer version of a weekly spread. We have one card that is the energy or theme for the week overall, and then one card for each day's energy. Here we have strength as our theme of the week. What follows might change my initial thoughts, but I would say this is a week of being patient with people as trying to exert your will or rush people along or yourself, because it'll do no good. Sunday is the Ten of Pentacles reverse. So this is a day of your finances needing to recoup after some bad decisions last week. Maybe you just went on a Saturday shopping spree. Monday is the Knight of Cups, and he is bringing you good news, hopefully in the form of romance, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. Tuesday is the Queen of Pentacles reverse, which is telling me that you will struggle with work-life balance on this day. Wednesday is a day to get things back into order. The Emperor likes structure, and he is reminding you that midweek is not the time to lose structure, but to adhere closely to it. The Chariot shows up for Thursday, so I would say you're feeling pretty good about yourself by Thursday as you've accomplished your goals for the week, or maybe have successfully made plans that will take you towards your next step in something you are trying to achieve, which of course could be anything between creating goals and purchasing airfare for vacation. On Friday, we have the Ten of Swords, which, I mean, look, it's the end of the work week. You're exhausted, but it's over. And finally, Saturday is all about romance, so plan your date night now. And just for fun, I made another version of the Energy of the Week spread for you. This one assumes a Monday start and lumps the weekend into one card rather than one card for each day. Now, depending on the flow of your week, you can group days together however you want. My weekend tends to not be Saturday and Sunday, so I might adjust this for myself, and I hope you feel free to do the same. For this, the Page of Wands shows up as our theme or energy for this week. He's telling us to tap into our adventurous side and maybe even go with the flow or follow our passions. Monday is the Fool reversed, so your week may be off to a rough start as you take risks that are probably not too smart. The Eight of Cups shows up for us on Tuesday, so it's time to move on from whatever error in judgment you made on Monday. Wednesday is the Three of Pentacles reversed, telling you that it will be a good day to work by yourself. Thursday is the Sun, so a day of great positive energy and maybe a boost to get you through the rest of your week. Friday is all about rituals. The Hierophant shows that you'll be going through the motions to make it towards your weekend, which is represented by the Ace of Swords reversed. I'm going to say that you go out drinking and get very hazy, as this card can indicate a lack of clarity and focus. I mean, whatever, it's the weekend, right? Here we have an energy of the month spread that is similar to the first weekly spread I showed you, as it divides the month up into chunks. We have a card for each week. Notice that the sixth card is only necessary if it is a long month. I also assumed we would go by calendar week, so if the first of the month were on a Saturday, week 1 would apply only to that day. If you were just going by 7-day periods, regardless of the starting day, you can do that too. All right, so another page representing our energy or theme. This time around, it is the Page of Cups reversed, who is very immature. So you may find that your emotions this month are compromised. In my case, that would mean that I whine about everything and complain a whole lot to the wrong people. All right. Oh, wow. The Page of Pentacles reverses week one. So you will be delayed, which could be the thing that sets off your immature emotions for the month. Week two is the Five of Swords reversed. So you will feel defeated. So far, this is in line with the energy of the month, but I sure hope things get better. Let's see. Week three, which is card four, only a little confusing, is the Five of Pentacles. So you are going to need help and either not know where to turn or refuse to ask for help. That reversed Page of Cups sure is getting in the way this month. Week four is the King of Wands, so you will be getting your confidence back and your natural leadership tendencies will kick back in, which, if this is the last week of the month, is a good way to end. If there is one more week, that would bring us to the Seven of Wands reversed, which is showing me that you just don't know when to give up. Perseverance is good, but just let it go already. Oh, wait, what a month. All right. So now we're looking at yearly energy spreads. I did do a whole presentation on New Year spreads already, so I tried to keep this brief and different, but there is definitely some overlap. We have the same principle as the last spread, and I have broken your year into quarters. You could do this and break the year into thirds or six or whatever feels right to you. So for the year's energy, we have the Nine of Swords. So it's going to be a year of grieving. Whether a loss has already been suffered or will kick off your year is the question here. But not all is bad. The first quarter of the year will be used for reflection to figure out what you can do better or maybe how to approach the rest of the year. The second quarter is the Nine of Cups reversed. So you won't be happy with all you have, and you'll really have to work to remind yourself that you have a lot and material or physical things isn't what life is all about. The Six of Wands reverse shows me that from July to September, you'll be quietly celebrating something good, taking time just for you to really appreciate an accomplishment. And finally, the last quarter of the year will bring some conflict in the form of the Five of Wands. My guess, there's probably a small family squabble going on. Where will you host Thanksgiving? Did so and so actually slight that one's girlfriend at the holiday? And things like that. This is our longest spread today, as we are looking at the energy or theme for one whole year, as well as the energy for each subsequent month. This is also our last year spread here. The energy is the Lovers, so it could be a year of romance or it could be a year of dichotomies or opposites. Let's see, January is the Queen of Pentacles, so you start the year off strong, grounded, and in control of your life. February is the Page of Wands reversed, so something you've been counting on will be delayed, or maybe the whole month will feel like you're putting things off. I love that the next card is the Knight of Wands, here to rescue you and bring you on a March adventure. April is the Ace of Pentacles. Is it a month to literally plant seeds, or is it a month filled with new opportunities, or both? Strength is May. If you've been through the winter and spring I've been through this year, I would say this card is all about weathering the changing, well, weather and just hanging in there despite the difficulties that may or may not arise. June is a Two of Swords, so you will be ignoring the world this month for some reason. What will you be avoiding, or who? In July, you will be sitting pretty as the King of Pentacles. Everything is in order, and 6 months after starting the year as the Queen of Pentacles, you'll be in an even better place than you were in January. August brings some poor communication, and September brings a Chariot. So, whatever is going on August, you will resolve in September and start putting things in motion for the rest of the year. October is the Ace of Cups reverse, so it's not a month to be emotional, which makes sense because all of your energy should be focused on Halloween. We can all agree on that, right? November will bring partnership, maybe romance, ooh, maybe even a proposal. And finally, December is a month to walk away. Whatever didn't work for you this year, in December, it's time to put it behind you so that you can start fresh in January. That is the Eight of Cups. And now we are back to some smaller spreads as we are no longer looking at months and years. This daily motivation tarot spread is from Incandescent Tarot. The Seven of Swords is the theme of your day, so you're being sneaky today. The Six of Swords reversed can bring you joy and ease. This one isn't so healthy, but it looks like you're avoiding personal growth and sticking with what does bring you joy. The Eight of Wands reverse is the energy you should channel, which interestingly is stagnation. In order to succeed, don't change anything, not yet at least. The next thing to do is release some of the burdens you've been carrying. So it's time to delegate. Here is another potential daily spread that touches on energy, and it's from Marissa Mohi. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering your name, but that's who it's from. What do you need to do right now is the star. So you need to balance yourself, get your head on straight. The Ace of Wands is the energy you should embody, which is all about inspiration and passion. The devil is what you are being called to pay attention to. So look around and see if you have any unhealthy attachments. The spread isn't necessarily telling you what to do about that, but finding that you do have unhealthy attachments could lead you to a different tarot spread, to conversations with a friend, self reflection, or a call to your therapist. The card for your day is the Four of Wands. This is basically your energy of the day card, as opposed to our second card, which was which energy you should embody today. This is saying that it's going to be a good, steady day. The Empress reverse is lessons that you are ignoring. How are you treating other people? How are you treating yourself? The Empress reverse is trying to tell you to pay attention to this today, as you may need to change your behavior. The Queen of Cups reversed is what you need to let go of. You are letting too much in and have become too sensitive. While it's never good to do the opposite and put up a wall, you could definitely create some boundaries to help let this go a little. And finally, your advice for the day is to enjoy what and who you have. Look for the rainbows in your life. I am a big proponent of doing these spreads in the morning so you have something to think about during your day and then reflect upon in the evening. However, here is an example of a spread that helps you reflect on your day's energy at the end of the day. This Wrap Up My Day spread is from Sage and Shadow. Your overall energy of the day was the Four of Pentacles. So you had some troubles letting go today and letting someone else help out or take charge. The High Priestess reversed challenged you today. You really struggled to know yourself. Your gut feelings weren't doing you any good, and you just struggled to really trust your own judgment. What helped you through the day was the Eight of Swords. So you basically removed yourself and gave yourself time for self reflection. Good for you. Just don't forget to walk out of the sword circle and back to your regularly scheduled life tomorrow. Here is another end of day tarot spread from Sage and Shadow using just a few more cards. The Two of Pentacles indicates that you spent your time multitasking today. Every time you finished one thing, another popped up, but it never got completely overwhelming. You responded to this by using fantasy and daydreams to make it through your day. What you did well was you managed to give yourself some love today. The Lover's reverse is all about self love, so good job. The Tower reverse shows that you were avoiding change, so you could have allowed things to fall apart a little. You are apparently so good at multitasking that it never occurs to you that dropping a ball or two might create some good in the end, even if it feels chaotic in the moment. You need to release the Ace of Pentacles, so you need to release some of your goals if you want to relax. You need to envision the always steady Knight of Pentacles. He takes things slow, but always gets things done and is always there when you need him. And finally, the Seven of Pentacles is what you should take with you into dream time. So think about your future and what you need to do to get there and allow yourself to dream about that. What would it look like to put in lots of work and then stop and see your dream right there in front of you, grown and ready to be picked? And last but not least, this energy management spread from New Age Hipster is an anytime spread to help you rein in or better use your energy. Right now, your energy is with justice, with the right and wrong, actions and consequences. So you are pondering something and trying to figure out if the ends justify the means, perhaps. The thing that is draining your energy is the Two of Wands. You are so busy looking out at the world and making plans that you aren't seeing what is already right there with you. The Three of Wands is next, and he's telling you that to better manage your energy, you need to act on what you want rather than just watch other people living their own lives. The Three of Swords reverse is how you can keep your cup full as you move forward. This card is all about healing, so just know that no matter what you choose to do, going back to that energy card, that all wounds will heal and life will go on, whether you take action or not. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed learning these spreads and that you were able to incorporate them into your tarot practice. If you're interested in getting a reading, please email me at info@spillthetealeaf.com. In my next video, I'll highlight a different type of spread, and I do hope that you'll join me for that. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and comment below if you want me to cover something specific sooner rather than later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a wonderful day.